legend, Angus Beef here. Thanks so much for stopping by to click on this video. I want to talk today about intermittent fasting.
A closer look at the latest diet craze to sweep the nation called intermittent fasting.
That's right. It involves eating only during specified windows of time.
Yeah, that old chestnut. And I often end up talking about intermittent fasting often, and that's because I just hate with a passion that people think that it's some sort of magical fucking U-Butte thing, whereas really it's not. So I want to drop some real talk on intermittent fasting. So first thing being that, like, when it comes to your day-to-day, right, there's 24 hours in the day, and typically for most of us, right, we will sleep 6 to 9 hours of those 24 hours, right, or at least I hope you are, right? So we will sleep for 6 to 9 of those hours, and then for the rest of those hours we are doing all sorts of shit. So working, eating, going to the gym, being active. Like, we've got various non-exercise and exercise related activities that we're doing throughout the day, and naturally that makes up our metabolism, right? So when it comes to you, when you're going to sleep, right, this is obviously when your body is in a fasted state. It's doing its thing, it's repairing, it's rebuilding, it's doing all the magical stuff that it does. And that in and of itself, like if you're getting 6 to 9 hours of sleep every night and you're on point in terms of water and your other lifestyle factors throughout the rest of the day, right? Well, understand that it's like, you should really just be starting your first meal when you're hungry and when your body tells you to eat, and then fucking eat. Like, there is zero need to force push you having your first meal thinking that it's going to get you shredded quicker, right? Like, if you believe in basically like that you're going to have some sort of magical superpower in terms of getting lean easier just because you push back your first meal, like, you're kidding yourself, yeah? Like, fair enough if you're fairly advanced and in the game and you're like, you've got a really good relationship with food and you find that it's a bit of an inconvenience to eat your first meal early, and as a result you would rather just have a black coffee and maybe some water and push your first meal back to when you have a bit of a break in your day. Like, if that's the case for you, fucking rock on. Like, I will usually do that when it comes to me when I'm ever shredding, because I'd rather have more calories later on in the day, yeah? But keep in mind that I'm really good at sticking to my overall intake. I don't have any sort of impulsive feels around food when it comes to just, you know, eating my calories within that smaller window, right? So if you're someone who, say for example, has a fairly high stress job and you're pretty under the pump and you've built up a decent cortisol pile, right, in terms of just like all this stress shit that you have going on that you don't really deal with fairly well, be aware that if you add fasting to the mix here and you force that upon the mix, well then your cortisol fucking pile, you'll probably find will fuck you up and will cause you to have basically an inability to lose fat. Because I find that even when someone is so on point with calories in versus calories out and they've got a great spread of protein, fiber, plants and good quality food coming in, if they're not managing stress well and they don't get enough sleep and they force fast and shit like that, well then this basically can turn themselves into a scenario where the body just doesn't want to bar what's going on, and they'll be like, no way, Jose, we're not losing fat, like we're too fucking stressed here, and it will hold on to it despite your best efforts. So in other words, fam, there is nothing magical about fasting. Like, if you feel good pushing back your first meal a little bit later, you know, well then fucking eat then. But don't feel that you need to, or that there's anything magical about fasting. Just like there's nothing magical about eating 6 small meals spaced out across your day. Like, there's nothing magical about that either, yeah? So when and if you see someone who is saying that fasting is God's gift to man or anything like that, or that there's just, yeah, some sort of like God gift superpowers that come from doing it, if I were you, troll them, or like what I do, troll them, or I just, yeah, basically unfollow them and run to the hills, because it's not something that you need to do. Obviously, if you do feel good doing it, fucking awesome, but if you don't feel like you need to, and I hope this message has served you well. So do me a favor, if you did get some value from it, drop it a like, share it with someone. Let's get the message of what Angus Beef is dropping here shared to more people. And if you have any questions around this, feel free to drop me a DM. Let's keep the conversation going, or use the comment section below. And yeah, fuck fasting. Well, not fuck fasting, like, it is a good tool. That's exactly it, it's a tool. It's not something that you should be trying to force build a lifestyle around or whatever, thinking you'll get shredded quicker or that you'll make more gains. Not gonna happen, yeah? Focus on the things that matter most and don't stress about the small things, all right? Big love, fam. Angus Beef out. See you next time.